While oil prices are down about 10% from a week ago, gas prices have barely budged. In fact, in many places, they're higher than a week ago. Why did they soar so fast when oil prices spiked, but not moving lower as oil declines? With us now to talk about this and other related topics, investment guru and a legend in the commodities game. He won't admit it. Jim Rogers, chairman of Rogers Holdings.
Stop.
All right, welcome here, Jim. Why did oil go down last week? A little bit. And gas go up?
Well, oil went down because a lot of people got margin calls and had to sell various commodities. And so when you're getting margin calls, you dump everything in sight. That's why oil went down. Why gas went up, I guess it's because it's the beginning of the driving season. I don't know, and gasoline is refined oil.
Right.
And usually at this time of year, gas prices go up because people start driving. I don't know. I haven't been here, but that's what I would presume.
Is our economy in a recovery, as the president would have us believe, and some of the folks around him?
Judge, you're bad for my nervous system. You don't get your advice from politicians, do you?
No.
Oh, my God. What's happened since I've been gone? No. No, some people, yes. Judge, the people who are getting the money that the government is shoving out the window, they're better off. Yes, they're better off. But the rest of us, the overall situation is worse. The debt is skyrocketing. The money being printed is skyrocketing. So the overall situation is worse. And next time we have a slowdown, it's going to be tough to pay.
Are you fearful at all that the president might be able to leverage his newfound popularity from the killing of Osama bin Laden and some other foreign policy events that he's been involved in as a way to induce Republicans to vote to raise the debt ceiling and give him what he wants domestically?
Well, if they raise the debt ceiling, I mean, that means government's going to go on for a few more weeks, a few more months until they run up against the debt ceiling again.
Right.
But that doesn't change policy. That just says we can continue spending all this money. Spending all this money is very bad. That's the point I'm making, that the overall situation is getting worse because we're going deeper and deeper into debt.
What do you say to those people who basically believe in the free market, but are so wedded to the American system of borrowing and spending that they are terrified that if the debt ceiling doesn't go up, that interest rates will skyrocket and there'll be a tremendous depression in the American economy, that the financial community is so expecting the feds to borrow that they will not be able to tolerate a society in which the feds do not?
Well, my rejoinder to that is we've got to cut spending. We're the largest debtor nation in the history of the world. Not the largest in the world, in the history of the world. And that cannot continue. We're either going to have a crisis or a semi-crisis, or we're going to hit it now. And I'm afraid the way they're going, we're going to have a crisis down the road.
What would happen if the Republicans in the House of Representatives vote not to raise the debt ceiling, and then that issue is dead? It doesn't even go to the Senate, and Secretary Geithner and the president have to live with the $2.5 billion they collect each month in taxes.
That would be wonderful. It would be great from your mouth to God's ears. Let's hope it happens. But to do that, somebody's got to have a backbone. Do you know anybody in Washington that has a backbone?
Very few. There are some of whom appear on this show.
No, they are here on your show.
They don't make all the decisions, unfortunately.
Right.
Yeah. What would happen if interest rates were allowed to float and be set by the free market instead of by the commands of the Fed?
We've got to let interest rates go higher. We've got inflation in this country. And Judge, what's happening in Washington now is destroying the class of people who save and invest. Think of all the people who saved their money over the past 20 years, put their money in the bank, expecting to live off the interest in their retirement or in their old age. They're getting wiped out, totally wiped out. All the people who did the right thing are earning that much money on their interest right now. And that's not the way the system's supposed to work.
You spend a lot of your time in the Far East. You are raising your children to be fluent in Mandarin Chinese. What is different about the Chinese culture and attitude toward hard work, savings, and the economy versus the American culture about hard work, savings, and the economy?
Well, it's night and day.
Or is this an hour-long interview?
Right. I mean, I can answer that in 3 seconds. In China, in Asia, you work very hard, you save and invest for the future, and then you work harder again. I mean, you should see the homework that my little girl has in the 2nd grade. She has more homework in the 2nd grade than I had in 12 years of school in America. No, they expect everybody to work hard. They expect everybody to save and invest for the future.
Is it the schools, or is it a belief that at some point they'll have a free market and the free market rewards those who take risk and work hard and save?
Well, that's exactly what it is. They know that the market rewards those who save and invest for the future and then work even harder.
Should we be troubled that Tim Geithner is trying to set up some kind of a deal with the Chinese that might affect the value of the yuan, or does he not know what he's talking about?
We should be concerned that anything Tim Geithner does, he's been wrong for 15 years, 17 years now. Go back and look at his record, Judge. He's never been right about anything.
What is he trying to accomplish over there? We've got about 15 seconds.
He's trying to get the value of the U.S. dollar to go down and their currency to go up. He thinks it'll save us.
And he thinks it can be done by government command.
That's what he thinks, but he doesn't know anything.
All right. Jim Rogers, thank you very much for joining us. Raise the debt ceiling. Why not just